Hey guys, Lee Bratcher, I'm the president of the Texas Blockchain Council. We're here in Austin, Texas at the Texas Capitol with Marshall Long, true Texan and an early Bitcoiner and one of the few people that knows just as much about ERCOT as he does about Bitcoin mining. And we want to talk, you've been in this space for years, much longer than me, much longer than probably anybody that we've seen and talked to today. We want to talk about the story, how you started out, what it was like. This is probably going on 10 years for you, right?
Yeah, this year will be my 12th year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us, specifically on the mining piece.
Sure.
Because you obviously didn't start out in mining, you discovered Bitcoin first, but talk about the mining piece for us and like the early days, 2013, 2014, even 2012.
Sure. The early days, when I first got into mining, late 2010, 2011, it was just purely hobby. This is internet nerd money. This is awesome. It had zero financial implications. It was worthless. And I didn't know anything about economics or, how Bitcoin can help change people's lives and all these other things. And so early days, it was just kind of like a purely scientific endeavor. But very quickly, 2012 and 13, you start seeing things on C-SPAN and people in the government start talking about it a little bit, have some nefarious actors, some good actors. And I started diving down the rabbit hole of like what this technology can actually do. And it's now become very kind of like ingrained in the Texas culture of self-sovereignty, little government, take control of your own destiny, and these kinds of things all circled around Bitcoin from about probably 2013 for myself anyway, till now today. And it just seems kind of part of the story from the beginning.
Wow. And I want to get to this eventually, but there's probably some stuff in between. I want to talk about the foundation and what you're doing in Alabama and other low-income housing areas, the Section 8 areas. But before we get there, talk a little bit about the progression of what was it like to be an at-home miner first, then an industrial miner, and now sort of a VP of mining operations type, I missed your title exactly. I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but something in that space. So talk about that.
Yeah, early days, it was just simply a laptop, and then it moved to a few computers, and then half a dozen computers, and then as many computers as I could fit in my apartment. And then my wife was like, okay, this is way too much.
Yeah.
I can't plug in a hair dryer
without tripping the
whole thing.
Yeah.
Get an office. And so really my wife was the catalyst to get me to move to like what I would call an intermediate scale at the time.
Yeah.
And then I started interfacing with all kinds of other people. And from there, it just kind of got out of hand. I went from just purely hobby to it's too hot and noisy in the house to, okay, we got a little office space and now we're using, all kinds of technologies and we're stabilizing the grid, and it's just grown from a laptop to, a whole beast that can help all kinds of people now.
Yeah. So for just the average Texan out there who's like heard that Bitcoin mining uses energy, what would you say to them about what it's doing for job creation, tax revenue, and grid stabilization?
Sure. So just using power is not necessarily a bad thing, right? You dry your clothes instead of hanging them up outside. So it's not really a story of just power usage.
You turn on Christmas lights.
Sure. There's all kinds of, just the dryers in America alone use more power than all of the Bitcoin network. So just that nomenclature is not really a good describer. So what I would say more is it's kind of like a virtual battery and a virtual power plant where when the grid is having problems, so like right now in the summer in Texas, everybody's using their ACs. People are trying to cool themselves down. People getting off of work, and the grid's having, what we call frequency events. Miners will turn off during this time, and because miners can turn off quickly, we're able to really help heal the grid during times of intense usage. So during winter storms and this kind of stuff, people think it was bad. Without miners, it would have been even worse.
Yeah.
So that the fact that we can move our load quickly, it just helps stabilize the grid across Texas.
Absolutely. So talk about the foundation.
Sure, BTC Impact.
Yes, Impact.
Yeah, so one thing that I noticed is that when I first got into Bitcoin, I didn't know anything about financial, anything, economics, nothing like that. And I really feel that like the more you understand that, the more you can better yourself and the community around you. And so what BTC Impact does is we take donated ASICs from people like Rhodium or Riot, and then we donate those along to Section 8 housing projects where the projects will be able to run these small miners, and they usually have unmetered power anyway. And then we do the housing authority will then do a revenue share with the tenants.
That's amazing.
And so the tenants, after they've paid their 12 months, can then take a small nugget of Bitcoin and use it for a down payment on special affordable housing so that they can use Bitcoin mining to get them and their families out of Section 8 housing.
That's incredible. And a couple jurisdictions, Alabama,
Yeah, so we've
Texas.
got a Section 8 project going in Alabama right now. We started the mining club at University of Wyoming. We started the mining club at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
We've got a few others going now too.
It's amazing. Where do you see as far as like your advocacy and your time and effort? Where is that best used right now? In addition to your work as a kind of an operator.
Sure. I think educating, and along with educating people, telling people why Bitcoin mining is important for grid and power usage. Also using my knowledge to help augment other industries. So like the power industry, it's a pretty inefficient industry where you've got generation assets that might be aging. Bitcoin mining can really augment those for companies to, become more profitable, things like that. So beyond self-sovereignty, beyond hard money, and beyond financial education, I think rejuvenating more life into these nascent industries using mining is probably the next place where I'm going to spend time.
Which generator is going to be the first to buy a miner?
Which generator is going to be the first to buy? Wow, that is a great question. It would probably be a forward-looking company. Companies that have already offloaded their shale assets, stuff like that. I would say Shell is probably a good candidate for that. They're pretty forward-looking.
Sure.
Exxon started to dabble in the space a little bit too. They're probably a likely candidate. I would say a large, maybe nat gas producer, somebody that's
like
already
an NRG or Vistra.
NRG, NG. These people that have these bigger assets that have already tiptoed into the water, probably start to see these people get into it.
Mm-hmm. Because then you got vertical integration.
Exactly. Why not do your own demand response within your own fence?
Yeah. If you're from NRG or Shell and you're listening, we've got a great proposition for you. Okay. Parting comments. If you could talk directly to somebody in one of these cities or counties that is getting a Bitcoin miner, what would you tell them to expect over the next couple months?
You can expect job creation. You can expect taxes to go up. Really what you'll see...
Let me clarify. Tax
revenue to
from
go
the
up.
miner, not
me.
for the citizen.
That's right.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see what the miner can do to breathe new life into your economy.
Yeah.
Whether that was formerly dismantled by a paper mill or aluminum smelter that's no longer there, or there's just nothing been going on there in general. Bitcoin miners need tons of skilled labor. They need tons of unskilled labor, that people that want to learn technical jobs. You'll see industries pop up around that to facilitate it, because these operations are huge and they need tons of support. And then that money then inflows back to the community. So you see direct input within 12 months of operations starting up, that everybody in the local community around there will see direct and immediate benefit, just because the asset itself is a cash flow machine, and the people that work there will partake in that cash flow, tax revenue or otherwise.
It's amazing. Where can people go to find you? I don't know if you have an anon account on Twitter or you have a real account, but if it's not Twitter, where can they go to find out about your work, about the foundation?
Sure.
Direct them there.
Yeah, my Twitter is OGBTC. That's me. Also, the website for the foundation is btcimpact.org.
Uh-huh. And guys, Marshall truly is one of the OGs in the space. We all learn from him. And so we're lucky to have him. And if you can reach out about the foundation to help support, to donate machines, that'd be great. Thanks.